Mind of the Meanie is now an exclusive brand partner with WWEshop.com. Pick up all your favorite new merchandise from Roman Reigns.
Acknowledge me.
Cody Rhodes.
I have to finish the story.
LA Knight.
Let me talk to you.
And more using our exclusive link in the show notes. Click below and show your support today for your favorite WWE superstar at WWEshop.com.
Yeah!
You know, Meanie,
What's that, Adam?
we hear this a lot. Every CBD company tells you that their product is the best. With quality control measures like lab testing and QR codes now becoming the standard, it can start to seem like all CBD brands are the same, but I'm here to tell you something, Meanie. They are not. Knowing what makes certain brands better will help you spend your money more wisely and have more confidence as you incorporate CBD oils, topicals, capsules, or gummies into your own wellness routine. And that's why we're proud to partner with Green Road CBD as an official sponsor of Mind of the Meanie. And Meanie, I know you're a longtime user of Green Road CBD. How has Green Road CBD helped you in your life?
Let me tell you, Green Road CBD is a product I've been using for years. And when we started Mind of the Meanie, I always was like, let's get Green Roads as a sponsor because I use them almost daily. Whether it's the gummies, to take care of the aches and pains of 30 years of wrestling, the topical solutions that help my knees, help my back, help my elbows, help my shoulders. Green Road CBD has done everything to help me maintain a pain-free existence from all the years of wear and tear as a professional wrestler.
And to me, Meanie, that sounds like the Green Road's difference. And it comes down to a really few important points. They're just part of the reason that they've won industry awards year after year, earned thousands of 5-star reviews, and have heard countless stories from customers just like you about the impact that those products have had on your life. So Green Roads is led by a compounding pharmacist with 25 years of experience helping her community getting healthy. For her and the entire company, it's more than just a job, it's a mission. And not all hemp sourcing is equal, Meanie. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. But they select their hemp from high-quality American farms, and also not all lab testing is equal, which is why they use an accredited independent lab to conduct full panel tests on every single batch. And that's why Green Roads is an original manufacturer, not just a quote-unquote white label brand. So right now, you can go to greenroads.com, Meanie, and save 25% off of your entire purchase. Wow. 25% off of everything, Meanie. That's huge. And all you have to do is go to their website right now, greenroads.com, and use promo code MEANIE at checkout. It's 25% off your entire purchase by using promo code MEANIE at greenroads.com. Own the day with Green Road CBD, and we thank them for sponsoring the program.
This is the Mind of the Meanie. Here are your hosts, the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard.
Peace, world. Welcome, everybody, to the Mind of the Meanie, your weekly peek into the world, according to former WWE superstar, ECW original, and co-star of the London Film Critics' Best Picture winner, The Wrestler, the Blue Meanie. We'll cover wrestling, music, movies, sports, and lots of useless knowledge, all contained in the Mind of the Meanie. I'm your tour guide, Adam Barnard, and he is the Blue Meanie. Meanie! What's on your mind?
Doing good, my friend. Doing good. Other than, the usual aches and pains and clogged ears and everything else goes with the Blue Meanie on daily basis. I'm doing as a on August 2026 at 9:30, which also happens to be Mrs. Meanie's birthday. So
birthday, Mrs. Meanie.
We're gonna have a good day today.
Nice. What's on the agenda today? Anything fun?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. We've been. Her family's coming down from her family's down from Connecticut, so
nice.
We're going to spend some time with her folks, and yeah, we're gonna have a good time. It's crazy to think we've been together 20 years, and She turned 21 when she moved down here, and now she's turning 41. It's like, where's the time go? But still having fun, and having adventures, and she's been my rock. So today we'll celebrate, have a nice little celebration, and have a good day. How about you, sir? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Happy birthday to Mrs. Meanie again. Give her our best here from all of us at the This Is Goober household. We're good, man. We're doing well. It's been a bit busy couple weeks here for both of us. I know we want to thank everybody for hanging in while we do a best of. Well, we did a best of last week. Everybody loves that Billy Mays episode, man. I got like a bunch of messages like, "Oh man, I love this. Is one of my favorite episodes." And I'm like, "Hey man, that's why I picked it. It's a good one." So, and you can listen to everything over there at mindofthemeanie.com. But no, life is good, man. Busy, lots of stuff going on. It was a hectic week in Minneapolis. It was a kind of a hellish weekend, which I'll tell you a little bit more about as we run that down. But no, life is good, man. I turned 41 on Wednesday. So thank you for everybody for the messages and the shout outs. And
happy birthday to you.
Thank you, sir. The pleasant Baba Booey will give us a fart for that one. There we go. It was a good birthday. It was a good birthday. It was easy, real relaxed. I got to spend time with the kids, and it was supposed to be a little bit longer timeline. But again, I'll give you my Minneapolis horror stories in a minute. But we have the Pod Squads here today. So Mass Sanity, our resident professor. Greetings and salutations, good sir, and a pleasant Baba Booey to you. We got Jesse Brown here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sir. And he also says happy birthday to Mrs. Meanie. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
We got Mashaka Von Kiel. Merry Mrs. Meanie Miss to one and all, and a pleasant Mrs. Meanie Miss to everyone as well. So, yeah, dude, it seems like you didn't miss out on much by not getting over there to Minneapolis this past week, man, because, brother.
Right.
I'll tell you, man. I've been to a lot of cities, and I've been very lucky to go the places that I have been in my life. And Minneapolis, I would say, was my least favorite city. There was not a ton. There was not a ton to do. It was like. It wasn't like I hated it, right? Like I don't really hate much, Like I enjoy going places and seeing things and shit. But like the Airbnb was cool. Like I stayed with Muscle Man Malcolm and Sir Wilkins, and they thought the Airbnb was weird. I thought it was cool. Like they didn't show any of the stuff that was like in the house on the photos, but like in the bathroom. If you go to my Instagram page and some of my film photos, you'll see there was a skeleton in the closet. That had this it was like it's sitting on this rocking chair, and it had like this. It had the Rick and Morty. There was like the blue hair. I apologize. I haven't watched the show. I think that's Morty that has the blue hair around and had on his head. And
so I'll go with it.
Yeah, let's go with it. Yeah, anybody in the Pod Squad, you can drop it in the chat here. And so it was just like surprising. Wilkins opened the door and he was like, "What the fuck?" And I thought that was great. I love the uniqueness of the house. The only thing I didn't love was that we saw a rat in the house on Monday. Oh, Jesus. Which, and you guys know Malcolm. You know Malcolm from the show here.
Absolutely.
Malcolm is a real deal power lifter. Like my man is humongous, this big giant man, right?
Yes.
I have never heard a man his size squeal in the pitch that he did at it was 10:30 at night, right? I'd fallen asleep because our plane got delayed too. That was the other part. It was Monday. We didn't realize SmackDown and Raw were in two different cities. So we booked it. We're like, oh, fuck. So we're going to be in Minneapolis, and it's only the US Bank Stadium there. And apparently everything is closed on Mondays in Minneapolis. And our flight gets canceled. I wanted to go to Paisley Park, but there was no time to do it. And I was like, oh, there's tickets on Monday. Of course, I'm leaving Monday. And by the time the flight got canceled, it was booked. So we went to the Prince mural instead, which was still dope, but everything in the city was like in the same area. It was like there wasn't much to do and there wasn't a lot of life. So we found a little park and we walked around, and so the flight was canceled. So that about 10:30 at night, 11 o'clock at night, I hear this squeal, and
He's like, I won't repeat exactly what Malcolm said, but because it's inappropriate. But he was like, I just saw a rat. I was like, what are you talking about? What do you mean you saw a rat? So I was like, and he wouldn't come out of the kitchen. So I was like, all right, man, let's like. So he insisted on sleeping at the airport. So we went over to the airport and slept there all night. And man, it was a fucking marathon those couple of days. But overall, SummerSlam was great. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, but we can certainly talk about it. WrestleCon was great too. And I got a chance to talk to Double J and Mick Foley and Leo Rush. Those interviews are coming out pretty soon. And we got a chance to chat with The Miz. But I don't know if did you have a chance to watch SummerSlam?
No. Well, yes and no, since it's 2 nights. I was supposed to go to WrestleCon out there, and the month of July, life just really threw me a curveball. Yeah, and not major, just shit that made you go, Jesus, when is this going to fucking end? And there's a lot of things I had planned, and a lot of things got scrapped, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to do WrestleCon. I was invited to do it. And by the time I found out, I could have done it. It was just way too late to get affordable tickets for the people who wanted to book me. So that, I was like kind of bummed out. So, maybe a couple days before, WrestleCon, SummerSlam, all that stuff, I got a text from our good friend Del James, who Mind of the Meanie alumni, saying, "Hey, I got you're on the list. 2 tickets for Hershey." I was like, "Jesus Christ!
Oh, sick, all right, dude,
awesome!" And me and Miss Meanie drove out to Hershey and went to see Guns N' Roses. An amazing show. They each leg of the tour has a different opener. The West Coast has the Black Crowes, which I'm like, fuck. I love the Black Crowes, but this leg we went to see has Public Enemy opening up, which was pretty cool.
Man,
yeah. And we got there right as Public Enemy was going on stage, so we got to see Public Enemy, which is pretty cool.
That's sick, dude.
If you ever been to a concert at Hershey, it's unique in the fact that like you park in, there's a couple dirt lots across the road from the stadium.
And
then just let people fucking line up in a queue, and then they'll shut down the street and let everybody cross the street. So like we would have been there, at least 10 minutes earlier to, get settled in and see Public Enemy, but we spent most of the time waiting just to cross the fucking street. So I was like, Jesus Christ. So we get in, see Public. Yeah, I actually saw a bunch of people I hadn't seen in a while, which is kind of cool. That's why I love going to concerts. You just see people you haven't seen in a while, and you're like, holy shit. So Public Enemy was really good. And then Guns N' Roses was amazing. They played like 3.5 hours, which, holy shit. The fact that, Axl sounded really good. The band was super tight, and we had really good tickets. So, shout out to Dell for the hookup. I mean, we were right there in the pit, and I could literally just like stand there and not. Sometimes you go to a concert, you catch yourself staring at the screen. You're like, "Fuck, the guy's right there. Why am I looking at the screen?" This time I was so close I could just watch Slash play guitar and not have to like look at the screen. So he was on our side. Duff kept coming over to our side, which is pretty cool. And Axl sounded amazing as as usual. And I had an amazing time. And we're like, man, as rough as it was getting into that parking lot, we knew it was going to be rough. So leaving, so we're like, okay, let's plan out what songs do we definitely want to hear. And we heard our songs, and we started like we didn't leave the concert, but you could kind of leave and still hear the concert. So we like dipped out a couple songs early, but as we're walking out, we're walking by the stadium, and you can still hear it clear as day. And we heard it as we waited in line to cross the fucking street to go back across the fucking street. And we got in the car and we're driving down the side road. And I was like, man, I bet we can make it back in time for last call at McCuskers. And I think I broke every kind of fucking land speed record. We got the McCuskers at like 12:05.
No shit.
We walked in. Everybody's like, "How the fuck did you get back from Hershey that quick?" Did you have a private helicopter? I was like, "Nah, I was just thirsty. Just thirsty." And I had a couple of nightcaps at McCuskers, and then the next day was next day. But we caught some of the online. We caught some of the results for night one online as we were driving back from Hershey, and watched night two happen. And I thought it was a solid card. No real stinkers. But I enjoyed it. And it was pretty cool to watch. And that's it's always cool to watch. WWE run a stadium where you're used to watching football play. That stadium's the same stadium the Philadelphia Eagles won their first Super Bowl.
That was mentioned multiple times by multiple of us. Yep.
Yes. So it was pretty cool. But I was super bummed I couldn't make WrestleCon.
Yeah.
But Guns N' Roses, it's a pretty good consolation. When they get still tearing it up, and it's amazing. But SummerSlam, I like the 2-night concept, and hopefully we need to get a SummerSlam in Philly.
Hold on a second, guys.
I think Philly could do a really awesome SummerSlam.
I think so too. I think that Philly could definitely do an amazing SummerSlam, especially after WrestleMania. One of the things that I felt like though with this particular one is, I guess because of all the adjusting and the shifting that they did with, Saudi Arabia and the movement with New Orleans and stuff, it just it didn't feel like there was enough time for them to really get everything together properly. Because when you go to WWE World or even last year at the TakeOver, when we were up in New York, everything felt very coordinated. Everything felt very, organized. This kind of felt very, I don't want to say disorganized, but it felt very when you have to pivot and you're like, oh, I got to go here instead of going there. There wasn't as much life as I thought there would be in the space. Right. So, it was definitely, like I said, the event itself was great. Like getting a chance to be there at US Bank Stadium was cool. They brought the press conferences back for a night and then they canceled it again. So that was an interesting, unique situation. I'm sitting there, we're watching the show. I can't remember. I think it was, what was before Punk and Cody? Mass Entity can tell us, I'm sure. But all of a sudden I get a text. They're like, hey, meet us at the elevator after Punk and Cody. I'm like, all right. So we go over and it's only 6 of us, right? And we're all like, hey, did you get the message too? So we go downstairs and they take us downstairs to the floor to the risers. And we got to watch Brock Lesnar and Obafemi wrestle in Hell in a Cell from the riser, which is fucking nuts, right? And then they take us back into the press conference room and we're sitting there with Triple H. And so we asked a bunch of questions. I got to ask about Brie Bella and that injury, which was awful, breaks her scapula. And I think it was pretty early into the match too.
Oof.
Yeah, it was super early into there, but it was like I said, it was fun being a part of the events again. It was fun doing those things, fun being there, and enjoying myself. Always a blast to hang out with Malcolm and Wilkins. Just two of my favorite people, but two of the biggest characters in the world. That's what it was. You're right, Mass Entity. Thank you. It was. I knew he would fucking pull it up. It was Fatal Influence and the Bella Twins and Paige before Coleman, and Corey Rhodes.
Blue Meanie very cursed.
So, yeah, it was like I said, it was a good time, as far as the show was concerned. But as far as overall in Minneapolis, no, I don't know, man. Wasn't well. I guess maybe expectations are high sometimes for me for cities in some aspects, And I don't know. I felt like there could have been more there, but I don't know. Maybe it's the time of year. I'm not sure. But I've had a string of. I want to bring this up real fast because, like I said, I mentioned Mick Foley and the Blue Meanie came up in that conversation, and that interview is going to come out. I believe I have it set for Monday or Tuesday. But also a friend of the show, Mick Foley. We talked about the legendary story of Meanie in Mick Foley's hotel room after he wins the WWE Championship, and it's a great story. Mick was very generous with his time, and at the end he says, tell Meanie I said hello, or tell Brian I said hello. I said I will, but I won't call him that. I'll call him Meanie because that's how I know him, or Blue, as friend of the show Dave refers to you as. Yeah. But I also I got a chance to talk to Chris Jericho late last week, and I want to play this for you here real fast because I usually anytime I know someone who knows the Blue, our favorite Blue guy here, I always ask, what's your favorite Blue Meanie story? And Jericho gave me a good answer, so I'm going to play it here real fast. Last question for you because we mentioned him, my podcast host and close friend, the Blue Meanie. What is your favorite Blue Meanie story?
Just the fact that he exists. I mean, when I came to ECW in '96. Once again, there was no internet, and I knew from the wrestling magazines, and we kind of watched it on satellite, but I don't really recall if I knew anything about the Blue Meanie. I'm a huge Beatles fan, so the moment I showed up and he's actually a Blue Meanie. Like, what a most random, ridiculous, awesome name. But I remember, he's just, him and Stevie were so good as a duo. And I worked with Stevie once at one of the shows because ECW shows were a lot like AEW shows are now. Every match was determined to be a banger, if that's the word we're using. There was no throwaway matches. So Jericho versus Stevie Richards, I think it was in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, which was like this, or somewhere else where the venue was almost hanging over a ravine.
Oh my God.
Where you feel like this could just break off and we could all just roll down the mountain and die. So I remember we had the match and Blue Meanie was involved and just says, he just created this whole ridiculous character from this dumb cartoon psychedelic LSD fever dream that the Beatles created, 30 years prior at the time. But also, too, he's just the sweetest guy and just a great guy. And I hear from him all the time about a Van Halen or UFOs. As a matter of fact, I believe he's on the Jericho cruise this year.
He is, yeah.
Yeah, I've always got good feelings about the Blue Meanie. But I'll tell you this, he was great at playing the character of the Blue Meanie. I don't know if anybody else could have got that character over because it's a ridiculous concept and name, but he's made it work to this day.
And, just a wonderful...
He got my Venmo to put me over. That was very cool, man. That was very cool. Yeah, I remember Stevie wrestled Jericho actually twice in ECW. The first night, he pinned Stevie. I hop up on a apron and he does like this spin kick and I go flying to the floor, which got a huge reaction. So the next night, I've had the referee has tell him to kick me again. So, Finnegan goes over, kick him again. And he does the same thing where I fly off the apron just like I did the time before and got a huge pop. Jericho's the best. Definitely. We're always talking Van Halen. We're always talking UFO stuff. And I appreciate you, sir, for put me over. I mean, I know your time's precious with everything you do, and the fact that you brought me up to Chris was awesome. But also, he got to plug the cruise, which, man, I can't believe that's coming up. Super excited for that in November.
It
Jericho cruise,
quickly, man.
I have a lifelong friend named Albert, and his wife Michelle have gone on every Jericho cruise every single year.
Wow.
And they're like, oh, you got to get on this. You got to get on this. And there's one time, he reached out about, maybe the BWO doing the cruise. And I was all for it. But my tag partners have an aversion to the boats.
Oh, no.
They're like, oh, that's a long time to be on the boat. And I was like, oh, come on, man. What the fuck? I had to go back to Chris Jericho. I want to do it, but my tag partners are afraid of boats. So he's like, maybe next time. I was like, all right. Yeah. So the opportunity arose to do the Jericho cruise, and absolutely.
Yeah.
I would love to be on the Jericho cruise. It's coming up. It's going to be an amazing couple days there. So
let me see. It's coming up pretty
nice
soon,
little November.
That's it. November 7th to the 11th. And it looks like tickets are still, or you can still book at chrisjerichocruise.com. And it's the 7th cruise, which, oh shit, man, look at this.
7th cruise, which is an Iron Maiden reference.
It's Great Muda's going to be there. The Hardy Boys, Nick Nemeth, Dave LaGreca, and Bully Ray, friends of the show. Let's see. And then some blue guy. I don't know who that is. I'm not sure who that guy is. I haven't seen him before. And Danny's best friend, AJ Francis, will be there. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Big Dan is not a fan of AJ Francis after he beat Malcolm at the wrestling event. He has a blood feud.
So that was sarcasm.
Francis. Yes, that was sarcasm. I love AJ Francis. Great guy. Wonderful guy. But Daniel
awesome.
Dan is, let me see. Where is he? This is what Danny thinks about him.
This is a drizzling shit.
Every time he sees AJ. So, no, wonderful guy though. So looking forward to it. Go get your tickets now, and I'll get that Mick Foley clip lined up for us next week once my audio is done editing and everything else. But dude, I just like I said,
it's amazing too because he wins the world heavyweight title. I'm sitting in the lobby. We go to the same hotel to check in, and there's no room at the inn. And it's like, fuck. So I'm sitting there in the lobby. I was like, I'll just sit here all night until until I have to go to the airport. And he sees me. He's like, what's wrong? What's going on? I was like, rooms are all booked. It's like, what time's your flight? And you can see him calculating.
Yeah.
If the flight was like within 4 hours, he would have let me, chill out in the lobby, but it was like a good 6 or 7 hours. He's like, all right. So chilled with Mick Foley. We watched A Bronx Tale and went to bed, but I'll let him tell his, memories of the story, but it's funny, two people who live the same event, and one, they might remember a detail I forgot, and I might remember somebody else forgot. And that's the beauty of, stories. But Mick was always instrumental. He was huge into my, career. He had me and Stevie be a part of his farewell. And leading up to that, his second to last match was against Chris Jericho. And we were ringside for that. So it's kind of cool how all this ties together. Jericho against Cactus Jack, with Stevie and Meanie at ringside, and just running interference and just being a couple goofballs. But man, it makes me very happy to hear all that.
Yeah, they were they were both very excited to chat about you and gave lots of love and hellos and everything else. So I'll get that Mick Foley clip lined up for us next week. Let me think. What else is going on? What else is going on in the mind of the meanie, man? What else has been happening since we last saw our wonderful pod squad?
Oh man, just like I said, I had a little bit of a rough July. Not major, but I got some trips coming up. So next week I'll be on the road. I got 3 trips coming up, and next week we'll be in West Virginia, and then October we're going to foggy London Town for the Eagles game.
Foggy London Town.
Eagles against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which don't have tickets for it, but oh darn, we're in London, So just if you're going to be anywhere and just be not stuck, but plan to go somewhere. Either we're going to go to a game or we're just going to go to a pub and watch the Eagles play football in London, which will be fine either way. With a day trip to Dublin the day before, which would be pretty cool. And then the Jericho cruise in November. So got a couple trips coming up. Looking forward to that. Speaking of England, me and Mrs. Meanie started watching that show, Ted Lasso.
Yeah, dude.
I don't know if you've seen it.
Huge favorite here in the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Big fans.
Yeah. Well, me and Mrs. Meanie are late bloomers to Ted Lasso, mainly because when it was initially airing, everybody was talking about fucking Ted Lasso.
Yeah,
and everybody's posting fucking shit online, and people do like running commentary on their social media like they're auditioning for TV Guide. It's like, bro, no one's going to hire you to review this show. Why are you spoiling it for me? Like, it's like, me with the Game of Thrones prequel that came out, House of Dragons. I have yet to watch that, and I have no interest because people just have spoiled it for me. So I'm like, I don't need to watch this. But I guess there's news that Ted Lasso's coming back for a 4th season.
Yes.
So we're like, I was shocked. Mrs. Meanie was like, "Want to watch Ted Lasso?" I was like, "Absolutely, I want to watch Ted Lasso." So, we just, we're about 3 episodes into season 3, and I fucking love it. Love it. And I'm very jealous. I might have to say that Willow Nightingale was at a party for Ted Lasso season 4, and she got to meet the whole fucking cast. I'm like,
I know.
Oh,
yeah,
so cool.
Yep.
I love Willow. Also very jealous. But we've been watching Ted Lasso. See a lot of correlations between, that show and the world of wrestling. I always find pro wrestling in everything, but the show's been fucking great. Well, I guess the best thing is like the first season, a couple, the episodes are like a half hour.
Yeah.
And there were maybe 10 episodes season 1, and then like season 2 they had a couple of extra episodes. So me and Mrs. Meanie were watching the last episode we were watching. I'm like, is this a fucking movie? What are we watching here? And like the episode where they go to Amsterdam and it's like an hour long. I was like, oh, that explains it. It's an hour long, because we've been up till like maybe 4 or 5 in the fucking morning, watching Ted Lasso. And it's, I get home late at night and my brain doesn't turn off. So we're like, oh, let's watch a couple episodes. Before you know it, we're 3 episodes in. Yeah. And we're like, all right, time to close our eyes, time to go to sleep. But fucking loving that show. And but binge watching that, and it's one of those shows where you kind of just don't, you're so invested, you don't want it to fucking end, but yes, it's going to end, but then you realize, oh shit, they're coming out with season 4. Awesome.
Yep. Yeah, we flew, and Mass Entity says it here too. Like, you're gonna fly through it, and you will. It's just so good. I'm a big fan of Bill Lawrence, so like Scrubs and Shrinking and those shows that he does are just, all of them are just phenomenal. And then Ted Lasso is another one that's just absolutely unbelievable. I felt like season 3 ended on such a good note. Like it just was like, it felt good and it tied up really well and everything ended in the way that it should have. And then you come back and you're like, oh, season 4, I don't know. And then you see it, you're like, okay, yeah, no, this checks out. This is good. I like this. So I think you're really going to enjoy the show. You're going to really get through it. And if you get a chance to watch Shrinking, that's another really great one. That's Jason Segel and Harrison Ford. And oh man, that show is so fucking good, man. I think season, is it 3 or 4 that's going to be coming out this year? I'm going to look at it now. I think it is season 4. Season 4, and that's on Apple TV. So you could definitely check it out if you have that. But that's another one that you can definitely get invested. That one's a lot heavier than Ted Lasso. There's definitely some more heavier themes on that. Yeah, but that's another good one. If you like Ted Lasso, you'll like Shrinking. So, but yeah, definitely a wonderful, wonderful show. But Meanie.
Yes.
I'm sitting here thinking, pondering, pontificating, not genuflecting, farting a little bit in my chair. And, I thought to myself, I said, Meanie, I got a question. Are you ready to ask Meanie?
I would love to. It's time to ask Meanie anything. Ask me something.
And don't forget to tweet us your questions using the hashtag AskMeanie. And Meanie, I could sure go for a Baby Ruth right now. But what you sipping on, partner?
Maybe something you're a little more familiar with. A brand I saw in ShopRite, and I was like, oh, let me get that. Sparkling Ice.
Hey.
Got the wild cherry lifesavers.
Nice.
So you got all the lifesaver flavors. So I was like, oh, I'm all in on this. So I know that's your jam.
Yup.
So I figured I'd pop you with it.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I actually got myself we found the Starburst ones this week, which have been impossible to find. And I got myself a fruit punch, which is one of my favorite flavors here. So I'm excited to sip this, and we hope that you're sipping on whatever you're enjoying on this morning here on this lovely Sunday morning. And we're going to go ahead and crack these, Blue Guy. Sunday Yokos.
Yo, cause.
We're going to crack these in 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Fruit punch gloriousness. All right. Cheers, beers, everybody.
Good aroma.
Got a nice full body to it. Nice fizz. Got to sizzle it around here. Make sure it airs out, gets the nice, you really want to make sure you get the good spin on it, and you see how it spins here. Just if you can watch this at patreon.com/FindTheMeanie. That's the good. You don't want to do it too much because then it'll go flat. You know what I mean? You want to air it out a little bit. Give it like a minute. Make sure all the flavors get, mixed in there. I believe this is from the region of Fruitopia, which is over there in the Himalayan Valley of Saskatchewan. So this is like a rare 1993 blend, I believe, which is really cool. It's a very, very rare blend. Of course, as we know, the salt mines of disaster of 1993, caused this particular bad. It's science. I don't want to bog you down with too many details, but we can talk about it next week on our next episode. But all right, pinkies up, friends. Cheers, beers. Oh, yeah.
Not bad, man.
Good, right?
It doesn't have that diet taste. Some zero sugar drinks, you get. It's got that weird. Most, zero sugar drinks have that weird taste. It's just like, ugh. But that's pretty good.
Yeah. There's no funny.
Pretty good.
Pretty good. There's no funny aftertaste to it too, which is nice. It's always usually really good. So, all right, we got 2 questions here for you today. Matt from Dover wants to know, hey, Meanie, any good Dory Funk Jr. stories?
Dory was the best, man. Rest in peace, Dory Funk Jr. Sad that, here that he passed away. Got to do a Dory Funk dojo when I was in the WWE. One day we're at TVs and Bruce Pritchard's like, we got you booked for a Dory Funk dojo, which was cool because, coming from ECW and coming from an 18-foot ring with cable to go into a 20-foot ring with rope, there's a lot of getting used to. So they asked me to do a Dory Funk dojo, and it was an honor. Him and Dr. Tom were there. And Kurt Angle was there as a part of Kurt Angle's class, which is pretty cool. But him and his wife Marty were awesome. Just and this is 1999 maybe. And just at his age, he's still bumping around and just still doing and still going. And I think I got to body slam him once, which was kind of cool.
Oh, that's sick.
Yeah. Yeah, just to get there and listen to him talk about wrestling, and then at night we would go to the training was, and we'd go and watch Monday Night Raw together, and to listen to him break down the show as it's happening and stuff like that. Super cool stuff. Him and his wife Marty. Awesome couple. My condolences go out to Marty. I've already reached out to her privately and, to give my condolences. But my goodness, what a legend. The second longest NWA title reign. in history. And, and that's when being a traveling champion was super tough.
Yeah.
Making all those bookings and stuff like that. So, he's definitely left his fingerprint in on the business, in the ring and behind the scenes with all the people he's trained and stuff, or, mentored and coached. So, rest in peace, Dory Funk Jr.
Mass Sanity has a follow-up question here. He says, do you have any fears when body slamming an older legend?
Bro, it's just, you can't take it easy on him because you're doing the dojo, but you're also being judged, kind of, So
yeah,
you don't want to half-ass it, You body slam him the way you're going to body slam him. If you don't do it the way you're supposed to do it, he'll be insulted that you took it easy on him.
Right.
But not that I didn't put any extra pepper on it, Just I body slammed the way he body slammed. Yeah, and he did his body. There's two ways to do a body slam. There's the traditional. Well, I don't want to call it traditional, but most people, when they body slam, they put their left hand behind the head. But he cups under and puts his hand on the other shoulder and does the toss. So it's just, Harley Race also does the body slam that way, which once you do it this way, it's a little unnerving to see somebody do it this way. Mm-hmm. But there's no wrong way as long as it's safe. Yeah. As long as you're putting people down the right way, there's nothing wrong with it. But I always thought that was unique the way he body slammed people.
Yeah. Our last question of the day also comes from Mass Sanity. He says, "Hey, Meanie, you debuting as Kiss was 30 years ago last week. How is that possible?"
I have no clue, my friend. I have no clue. And again, that was the same night, Chris Jericho wrestled Too Cold Scorpio.
Yeah.
At the arena. The show was called The Doctor Is In. And there was a young Tony Khan in the crowd. Because that clip was making the rounds that week as well. But 30 years ago, fucking Kiss, man. And we're coming up on 30 years of the BWO, too.
True.
Which is crazy. I don't know, man. It's, time. At some point, somebody hit the fast forward button. And you think of all the, everything you've done in between that, and the fact that we're here 30 years later, still talking about it.
Yeah,
is very cool. But we a lot of people don't realize it. We did it. We did a trial run the night before in Plymouth Meeting at the Lulu Temple. Thank God we did, because we got the wrong fucking makeup.
Oh, man.
We went and got the traditional fucking clown makeup.
Yeah.
And it was so fucking hot in that building. And we didn't know what we were doing. And our makeup was running, and, so we kept having to take it off, put it back on. And we realized Lulu Temple had a walk-in freezer. So I put on our makeup. I ran to the walk-in freezer and just waited for somebody to, give us our cue to run to the ring, while people could still see our makeup, on our face. So the next night, Nova had the great idea of, let's just use it's me and Nova, painted our face. We used Liquitex.
Oh no.
And, which is way better. And he went and got a tube of the white, and we already had, the black and blue, and we painted it up with the Liquitex, and it was night and day. But the cool part about that is, having all the, boys in the locker room who are Kiss fans, like Shane Douglas, going, "Oh, this is going to be great." He's standing at the curtain waiting for us to go through. And I wanted, I know Gene Simmons spits fire. There's no way I spit fire, but I'm also a great Buddha mark. So I was like, I'll just spit the blood. And Gene spits blood.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do it the way Gene does it and get fucking red food coloring all over the fucking ring either. That'd be a huge heat from the boys.
Oh, boy.
So just stood there and did a mixture of Gene Simmons and Great Muda and just sprayed it. And I think I hit it at the perfect time, because there was the initial pop. There's Papa seeing us get in the ring, And then once I got in the ring, you see me get set, and I just go, and I just blow a beautiful fucking mist cloud, which the ringside photographers hated me because they were down, they were downwind. But yeah, there's some great shots from that. George, late great George Dehane has had some really good shots of that.
Oh, so, yeah, George.
30 years. Holy shit.
Damn. Well, I want to thank you for your questions. And two things I want to mention real fast before we get into the end of the show here. I know we spoke about it a couple weeks ago, or 2 weeks ago. Pod Squad member Nate Smythe had a really serious medical emergency. He actually suffered an aortic dissection. And he's lucky to, that the medical care was great. He's doing incredibly well. But him and his wife, Amy, they have a meal train set up. And so they've raised a decent amount of money for that, and that they're asking for meals. So they have a family of 5 at their house, and that they're preferring dinner. So I'm going to put that in the show notes as well. And I'm also going to put that in the Pod Squad Mind of the Meanie group. We'll also put it on our main page as well. We cannot do this show, and I know we say this all the time, but we cannot do this show without the Pod Squad. It would be impossible.
Yeah.
Nate is one of our, he's been a longtime member, wonderful guy, absolutely hilarious guy. His content on TikTok and Instagram is fucking great. Just hilarious. He had a very funny, viral, TikTok that went when he was like, oh, well, what if, something about Chris Evans, like, what happens if your wife says she wants to be with Chris Evans? He's like, have you seen him? He's handsome. I'll help you pack. Fly away. Fucking like so funny, just a naturally funny dude. So we would love to have you set everything up. If you can help, please do. If you can't, please feel free to share. And this one's a little tough for me. A close friend of mine, a really important person in my life from college, Kayla, was just diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer. And it's metastasized in her bones. She's got 3 little kids, and she's currently working through some issues, with treatment. And we're all staying positive for her, but she's got a GoFundMe that's being set up right now. They've already raised just over $16,000, which is fantastic. But I would love if you could to assist in any way you possibly could. If you can't share, or if you can't donate, we just ask that you please share. And that would be wonderful. So I'll put all those links in the show notes, and also as well in the Facebook pages for everybody to utilize. So, but Meanie, I want to thank you for your time, good sir, and I appreciate you as always, my friend. But Meanie, you know what time it is, baby. Where can everybody keep up to date with all things blue when they're not listening to the program?
If you would like to follow the Blue Meanie on all forms of social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, at Blue Meanie, BWO, wherever you do your social media. To support the Blue Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Blue Meanie. Get yourself a BWO shirt. We got the all over print BWO shirts which look awesome. So check those out as well. If you would like to support Mind of the Meanie, go to ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. MattCareBeardCare.com got the Blue Spruce Beard Oil or Balm. Shout out to Josh Thornton, doing an amazing job taking care of the cats in his neighborhood. Every dime you spend goes into taking care of the cats that he takes care of. So go to MattCareBeardCare.com. Meanie's Blue Bath by Top Rope Soap. Meanie's Blue Bath is a bright blue bar made of ground oatmeal and sea salt, which add a satisfying exfoliating scrub and delivers a sweet, fruity blend of juicy blueberry and carnival-style cotton candy. So go to topropesoap.com to get yours while supplies last. They're going pretty quick. So once they're gone, they're gone. So go to topropesoap.com. The Ultra Pro Wrestling video game coming to all major consoles. The Ultra Pro Wrestling contains not only original characters by the amazing Hal Haney, but many other original characters that I'm trying not to spoil. So to have, to get all your information, go to ultraprowrestling.com or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. That's ultraprowrestling.com, or follow them on Twitter at UPW Video Game. To have the Blue Meanie on your podcast, go to podstars.net. Register your podcast, book the blue guy, and let's have a conversation. over there at hotstars.net. Cameo.com/BlueMeanieBWO for birthdays, holidays, and well wishes. Please book through the site. Don't book through the app. The app takes way too much of your hard-earned money. Did a few last week. Always have a great time doing the cameos and making people a little bit happier. But yeah, go to cameo.com/BlueMeanieBWO. But most importantly, Mr. Barnard, where can we find you, sir?
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Threads, and Blue Sky at This Is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand pal. You can also find me over at my show, my other show, Foundation with Adam Barnard at foundationradio.net. And you can also subscribe at youtube.com/@foundationradiopod. You can also check out all the stuff I've been doing at the Sportster and Give Me Sport. I had a lot of great conversations this past week with lots of great WWE superstars and other folks in AEW, including Jeff Jarrett, Mick Foley, Leo Rush, The Miz, Javon Evans, and more. And also, Meanie, I don't know if you know this, but Javon Evans was actually trained by New Jack. And Malcolm actually uncovered that during their conversation. So that video is actually available right now at the Sportster's YouTube page. So go ahead and check that out. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop in downtown Lawrenceville, on the outskirts of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. You can go get seated with my homie Kane and the rest of the team at 10th Ward Barbershop.com. Meaning we're also 3 weeks away from the Super Jersey Summer Spectacular, which is going to be August 29th at the Iron Peak Sports and Events Dome in Hillsborough, New Jersey. We had our first set of interviews with Brian O'Halloran from the Mallrats cast, and it is the largest Mallrats reunion, I think, ever at this point. So if you want to meet Kevin Smith, Jay Muse, Jason Lee, Brian O'Halloran, and a ton of the other cast, Priscilla Barnes is going to be there. Go and get your tickets now. We are almost completely sold out. So if you want them, you better go get them today. SuperJerseyExpo.com. ProWrestlingTees.com/Mind of the Meanie. Pick up a shirt and keep the lights on at Casa DeMeanie and the Barnard Home for Wayward and Troubled Youth. Don't forget to go to Patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Tiers start, Meanie, at just 10 human monies. You can join us live each and every week. And also, if you look above us at YouTube.com at Mind of the Meanie, you can go and find all of our shows going back in our archive all the way back to the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2022. And you can go and follow us on all forms of social media right down here at the bottom. We want to thank you all for joining us again this week. We appreciate you listening and sharing and posting. Any listen is a good one, and we would love to show up in more people's algorithms. So go ahead and share, like, comment, and subscribe. It only helps us get to the top. So we appreciate you. For the Ben Meanie, as always, sir, I appreciate you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
And for the Blue Meanie, I am Adam Barnard. Join us again each and every week as we take a trip through the mind
Blue World Order.
of the Meanie. Peace.
Blue World Order. This episode of Mind of the Meanie is hosted and executively produced by the Blue Meanie and Adam Barnard. It was mixed and engineered by Carl Pinnell. Additional narration is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krebs. That's me. Our intro music was performed by the Swamp Candles. Our outro music was performed by Chikara. Additional musical accompaniment is performed by Enrichment. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at Mind of the Meanie, and become part of the Pod Squad by going to patreon.com/Mind of the Meanie. Find our entire show archive at mindofthemeanie.com. This has been a Butts Carlton media production. Butts Carlton, proprietor. Blue World Order.
That was Blue Meanie's brain out.